That's the intro. Hello, all my beautiful souls. Welcome back into the Serene Corner, or welcome in if you are new. Hey, girl, it is Serenity, and we are going to be back with another video today. I'm hoping that the audio is going to be good because there's construction that I'm battling right now that I still want to try to film some content, but we're going to still make it work. I want to say hello to any new subscribers because we did gain some subscribers over the past few days, and I want to welcome y'all in to the safe space. So in today's video, I ran a poll talking about some topics that I wanted to film. And one of the first topics that I personally wanted to film that I put in the poll was about how influencer culture is shifting yet again. I feel like it's almost like clockwork. Every 24 hours, the influencer culture is changing. But I want to react to some videos that I'm seeing within the discourse and within the realm of influencing. And then I also really want to just kind of give my opinion and some of the data and facts and things that are coming out about how influencers are maneuvering through the market right now, what really is influencer culture as we look at it, and how is it changing. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. If you are a content creator or aspiring influencer or a current influencer, I feel like this video will still be valuable to kind of gauge what people are talking about out there, and then also really consider how this is affecting the actual climate and how people are maneuvering within the space if you're interested in that space. So that's what we'll be talking about today. I'm super excited. I have a coffee here that's melting a little bit, but she's here. She's here. Let me know how you guys liked that intro video because I'm really going to try to be elevating things up now that I'm getting used to this platform that I'm filming on now. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Let's get right into the video. Okay, so first I want to look at just the conversation of influencer culture shifting again, because these conversations I feel like happen every fortnight on TikTok specifically. And I want to see what creators are saying when they're talking about this shift of the culture.
So I don't think it's a surprise to anybody that influencer culture over the past couple of years has been dying out. I think it's due to the surge of, relatability and people wanting realness. And the influencer market is so oversaturated, and it's harder to build a following off of authenticity at first because it's authentic. It's going to take time for people to see it and be like, I really like that, because it's different than the cookie cutter copy and paste of what we've seen before. So something I've noticed within the influencer culture, it's like modern day yassified colonialism, where it just finds a new culture to exploit and colonize and like give it some vanilla name. And like, I don't know, the other week they were calling edges like forehead bangs or something. I don't know. But this whole mob wife aesthetic is just beyond me, because like, what do you know about the mob wife life? Like, you grew up in the suburbs with two loving parents. You got an allowance. You got like a Mercedes Jeep when you were 16. Like, it's
very true. Very true. Let me see what angle I like. Maybe this one's good for now. Very true. And repackaged aesthetics is something that we've seen on influencer culture for so long. It started with clean girl, neat girl, aesthetic girl, it girl, that girl. Like, we see it all the time where things are just repackaged into new labels and aesthetics, and just displayed to us at the masses and pushed at us to, again, build an entire new realm and layer of the influencer culture. And it can be draining. And I feel like definitely consumers are clocking onto that, number one. And number two, they're tired of a new aesthetic. They're tired of a new energy. They're tired of somebody trying to paint a lifestyle or paint an aesthetic to a degree. Are people still inspired by this content and influenced by this content? Yes, but the shift in how fast that aesthetics move, people aren't moving with it. Like clean girl aesthetic, I'm not sure how many people are still riding the wave of that. I would, as an example, right? Yes, there's still people making clean girl aesthetic content. That content does still do well, but it already kind of had its wave. Now you see people almost minoring things down where you don't need to be this perfect niche. Like, it shifts every so often, and it's definitely draining for people that are maybe trying to get into the space, or even consumers of the content. I bet it can become draining because you're just constantly shifting through these cycles of aesthetics and selling you this idea of a personality, a persona, a lifestyle, and it can become draining. And I feel like because there's so many people doing it nowadays as well too, consumers are just like overwhelmed with, and viewership as well too, just overwhelmed by how many different aesthetics there are. And that's why the market is just so saturated with influencers right now in general. So I wanted to bring that first point up that, yeah, we're repackaging brands and reclaiming and renaming aesthetics and things that have been around just to create a trend, create a hype, and build viewership off of that. And it can definitely be draining. And that's just where we're at with influencer culture, where every new day there's a new trend aesthetic being sold and marketed and pushed into the realm, even if it's just repackaged from something that's been viral. Like, for example, I was seeing, this is going to be so random, but I think it was the cha-cha slide. There was basically like different viral dances that have been classics for like years. And I'm seeing now that the younger generation has remade those and they're being pushed on TikTok as these new dance trends. That's what we're talking about. Where is it digestible for someone as in a younger audience? Yes, but across the entire viewership, it's not, because we're all sitting back here looking at the classic, the shuffle, or looking at classic dances. The wobble, that's the one it is. I couldn't think of it. It had to come to me. I had to clock in. The wobble, that's the one that I really saw. And I keep seeing videos of it. That's not the wobble. Why aren't we wobbling? Where is it giving wobble? But again, things are repackaged and repurposed and recreated. Even in movies, we can talk about this. In so many different spaces, this is happening. And we really need to dissect why that's happening. Maybe that's for another video. Stay tuned. Next, I want to look at this concept of overnight influencers that this creator speaks on. And again, I will have all of the creators' names and their links to their post in my description. So make sure you guys check out their content, because I am pulling some of their content to react to. So make sure that you're supporting them. But I love this concept of and not even concept, but this construct of overnight influencer that we've been seeing happen in a fortnight. And there's so many creators that I've seen where I'm on my spam page and I'm scrolling and I'm looking and I'm clocking the fact that the For You page is purposely showing me this creator right now. Like, they posted one thing that just reached the right audience. Now it's being pushed in your face full-fledged for days, especially if they notice that content's doing well and they start hyper creating that specific content. They're going to, again, kind of blow up overnight. So let's hear about that.
Content creators is going to be creators that blow up overnight. And I'm so glad you brought this up and left this comment, because it opens up a really important conversation of the future of creation. The reality of a lot of content creators' journey is posting for maybe even years and getting 200 views, but just staying consistent, staying with the trends, trying new things, experimenting. Because when you do this, it increases your probability of going viral, because it's all a probability, right? If you post once a month, the probability of you going viral is going to be so low. But if you're posting every day, you have a much higher chance than the person who posts one time a month. But if you're posting every day, using content strategy, keeping with the trends, you're going to be almost double as that person who just posts every day with no thought. So when that probability rewards you and you do go viral, and this is what I'm getting at, you probably will see it happen overnight. This is what's happened to me. This is what's happened to so many of my creative friends. I got 200 views for so long, and all it took was one video. I had videos.
I want to make a note here, and this is specifically because I am a Black influencer or Black creator or a Black person on the internet, right? Black in general, right? And so if you look like me and you're watching this video, we do not apply to the same rule that she's saying. I just want to keep that very clear. I want to make sure that we are aware of intersectionalities that play a role, marginalization that plays a role, that even reflects in social media. So how she's saying like this overnight, and that's how it happened for her. The type of woman that she is and the type of person that she is on the internet is completely different from how someone like me getting on the internet and creating content every day. So I just don't want someone, because I know there's someone exactly like me, or a Black woman, especially dark-skinned Black woman experience, it's even at a higher rate. And so I want to be clear that we can't sit here and follow this exact same rules of posting every single day using strategy and whatnot, because there's plenty of us doing that and we're not seeing the same results because we do not look like her. Okay, and I want that to always be clear when it comes to social media in general, especially when we think about just basic stats and statistics of the fact that there's more white female viewership and usership of social media than other demographics. There's just simply more of them online, more of them using platforms, access to internet, access to resources to create content. Like, let's keep it a buck. Like, let's keep it real. So it's a lot easier for them to go on and create one community content and go viral overnight. So I want that to be clear, that I'm taking what she says into account, because I do still see this overnight influencer thing happen, but very rarely do I see it even happen in the Black community unless it's over controversy. It's never just how she's saying, sitting in front of the camera, So definitely take that with a grain of salt when it comes to the type of individual, especially if you are a POC, if you're a Black individual, that's going to reign different for you. So I just want that to be clear.
Videos do good, okay, and I was growing slow over time. I thought I would never hit 100,000 followers, at least on my main. I had a video go viral, and all it took was one video. That video got 19 million views, and I got over 90,000 followers in a week. Since then, things have never slowed down. And that's how it happens for so many people I know. You put in so much work, you see nothing until your hard work pays off and you do have that overnight moment. When I finally went viral, I had hundreds of videos posted. I mean, it was good, fun content, so they had hours of binge watching. They were fed. I probably have put thousands of hours into content creation up until me first really going viral. And in that period, I was making okay money because I was doing like affiliate stuff, but my income like quadrupled within a week. I went from not being able to get like $100 brand deal negotiated to one brand offering me a $5,000 deal in the span of a month. And people are constantly looking for new things to latch onto.
The same thing when it comes to rates of income that she's making. Her saying that just from a small, short experience in her journey and getting that virality, she's able to now market herself thousands of dollars more. For Black creators, it's just not the same. And I wish it was, but I need to be transparent, especially someone that works in the space. I see the contracts, I see what's happening. I've seen the field and the difference in payments across the board based on ethnicity. Yeah, that's not going to happen in the Black creator space. I'm glad that she's at least honest and transparent about the numbers. For me to sit here and analyze, or for anyone to sit and look at this and analyze, that's rare. In the Black, we have to fight for that amount of treatment and that amount of pay and that rate. You know what I mean? They're trying to send us gift cards. Okay. So very interesting, but that's kind of that overnight influencer that just, again, kind of happens overnight. And that does happen. It just doesn't happen that often in other communities. And so again, in the white space, that stuff happens all day because they eat each other's content up. There's a very rich community aspect of that where because she's a white woman, another white woman's going to see her and instantly follow. There's no critical analysis to that. And there's no deeper meaning to it other than it could be the dumbest, most not valuable video at all. Just a random spam post, but that's going to go viral just because of the fact that she's a white individual. So take that as you will. But again, overall, that's been a new concept that TikTok has definitely garnished and created. And that's this overnight or in a week, in a few days. Like it reminds me of that lady Katie with the rug on TikTok, where basically this lady had a rug in her backyard and everyone on TikTok wanted her to dig it up. She gained like millions of followers within that 2-day weekend that was of her digging up a rug and nothing even being in it. Crazy. And she still has a platform to this day. Let's go into kind of the next topic that I want to speak about. And it's kind of these videos that I keep seeing of like influencer quick tips. And then I want to circle back into the influencer space and speak to some individuals in the influencer space that have experienced like influencer agencies, marketing, kind of the discourse around influencers interacting with other influencers. But I keep seeing these videos and I want to show you guys one.
Every influencer is going to tell you to start today. But it's a lie. To start today, y'all are not going to get any views. I'm going to tell you what those content creators won't. How to successfully post planning today. Be intentional and strategic. A lot of us minor influencers are also working a 9-to-5. Create a list of video ideas. Create a posting schedule. Be consistent. That is the most important thing you can do on this app. At least post once today. Batch your content. Figure out what thing that you can film in one day and chop it up.
These videos confuse me because they're basically, especially this one specifically, and no shame to this creator, I'm just really trying to understand the content. I feel like it's not rage bait content, but it's like emotional based content where again, they're like, oh, just post the content. I keep seeing things like that where people are just literally putting the words out there. It's like, just post your content because XYZ has happened to me. Cool, cute. This kind of gets the same energy, but now she's attacking the posts that say, oh, just post the content, but don't give you tips. Then she proceeds to then give us the most generic tips. Like I'll tell you right now, someone in the field, you can learn this in a quick Google search. But what she's saying, just post consistently, post once a day. Like we've been hearing this repackaged of what to do. People are doing it. It's more so, what does the average consumer, especially the mass the mass of consumers, especially consuming social media, what are they actually enjoying watching? And lately, what I'm really taking away lately, people do not actually want to see valuable content. Yes, there's people that search it out, but for the most part, things that are going viral, like viral, do not actually impact communities, assist communities, promote change, promote things that are positive, motivational. A lot of the things that we're seeing that go completely viral are controversy, drama, lawsuits, things of that nature. Like, I guess the most lighthearted I can get to are viral dance trends, like new music comes out and that kind of goes viral. That's at least a positive impact I can see, like in the music industry, at least from TikTok. But for the most part, content that goes viral, controversy, drama, the usual. Again, people reacting to TV shows and the drama in that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the point of this kind of content is, other than to speak to the people that have the emotions of people that want and aspire to be an influencer or aspire to be a content creator, but one, may never do it, and two, just get enriched by seeing this kind of content. And so it's kind of like a clickbaity content to me. There we go. Maybe it's just like very clickbaity to me. And so I'm not understanding why these posts are coming about. And this post has a lot of views. And I will leave it linked down below. This post has a lot of views. And I'm confused because she's, again, kind of repackaging exactly what's been said and what you can just simply search up on Google. And she's trying to say like, oh, this creator just said, just post your content. But what you're giving us isn't really any new sauce. And so I'm confused by these videos and why they do so well. Maybe you need to make one.
It up into 3 different things. When should I actually post my TikToks is when you start gaining a little bit more followers. Look at your analytics. My followers mostly watch my videos between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. You need to be labeling your videos. You click on your videos on TikTok and there's nothing in the search bar. It means that your TikTok is not labeled. Therefore, TikTok does not know what the video is about and cannot push it out. If you're editing in a second party app, when you upload it to TikTok, you should be writing what your actual video is about. For example, if mine is a ASMR go to work with me, I'm going to be texting on the screen, come to work with me, ASMR, vlog, but then I am shrinking the text and then hiding that. That way TikTok algorithm can read it, but my viewers can't. With your audience, even though you have 2 followers, ask your audience a question. That post a cleaning video in your bedroom and someone said, hey, I have that exact bed frame. What you should be doing, pointing back to them and asking them a question. How long have you had it? Do you?
Yeah, nothing new, nothing revolutionary here. She's gorgeous though. But I just really wanted to know, because again, there's so many influencer quick tips, and I just feel like this is not the real sauce of being an influencer. And so I keep seeing videos like that, and I just want people to be aware that you can be if you heard that. You can be doing all these things, and that's not going to lead to becoming an influencer, because this is really not influencer sauce. That's like being a basic content creator. So now I want to go ahead and look at some experiences that influencers have had in like the management agency realm of influencing, because I really think there's a lot of lessons to be learned here. There's a lot of exploitation going on because this kind of concept is not new, really, I guess now at this point, but it's still newer in terms of people don't have a full landscape of how to interact with agencies, what agencies are legit. The legitimacy behind a lot of this is a little bit confusing. So I want to hear one of these stories, and I saw this video and thought it was valuable. So we'll watch this. And
I signed with an influencer management agency for 2 weeks and then I terminated contract. Let's talk about what happened. This is a long story, but I really want to share this because it really helped me in my influencer journey and I'm hoping that I can help others. A few weeks ago, I received an email from an influencer management agency that's interested in signing me to become a part of their team. I have actually been looking for an influencer management agency for a while now. I really want to focus on the content creating part of things and I don't want to focus on the negotiating, rates, usage, all of that stuff. I've been talking to several different people, but this specific management agency did something that I liked, and this is why I signed the contract with them. They let me sign a trial contract. That means that I was able to give them a try before I actually committed to a certain amount of months, and it allowed me to terminate the contract at any point in time. This was the best decision I could have made, because if I was actually tied down to these people for more than I wanted to, I would be miserable right now. Best word of advice: never sign a contract when you're starting out with an agency as a permanent contract without that trial phase. This whole situation taught me a lot. As soon as I signed the contract, I felt uneasy. I felt anxious. I didn't like it. I kind of regretted it, but I was like, you know what? Let me try. If I don't give it a try, then I'm never gonna know what's right and what's not for me. And I'm glad that I did that. Most of the time when you have an influencer management agency, you have what's called a shared inbox. What that means is that the influencer and the manager both have access to this inbox. This specific agency that I had, they didn't have that. So what does that mean? they put their email in my bio and they received all inbounds that came. Inbounds are basically any company that reaches out about a brand deal, about PR, about gifted, literally anything, it's gonna go to them. They didn't have the ability to share the inbox, so only they can see what's coming in. That was the first thing that made me uneasy, because we're talking about like a stranger who has access to your income, to the money you make, to the deals that are coming in without you seeing what they're doing. Someone who hasn't even given you an opportunity to prove that you can trust them. But I wanted to be patient, so I gave it a week. A week goes by, there is not a peep from her, okay? She tells me that she's gonna reach out to me whenever any email comes in, and she doesn't reach out to me at all in an entire week. Here's the thing, if you do anything influencing, then you would know that every week you get at least one email. At least one email. Come on, 1 week without an email is like unheard of. You get at least, at least a PR email. I want to send you this. At least you get a single email. Maybe if it's spam, like, I don't know, but you definitely get emails, right? It's like unheard of that you get nothing. But according to her, I didn't get a single email. No spam, no gifted, no PR, nothing. That was sus for me, because again, every single week, there's not a week that I have since I started content that I didn't receive an email, okay? I swear, on everything. So now I'm feeling weird. I'm feeling weird because what do you mean in 1 week you haven't received a single email? So I reach out to her and I tell her, and I'm like, hey, have you received anything? How has the first week gone? She says, I haven't received any emails, but no worries, this is normal. It takes a while for things to start coming in. I was like, okay, well, she answered, she kind of calmed me down, I feel better. Like, okay, I'll just be patient. The next week goes by, I am feeling extremely uneasy because I'm the one who used to handle like everything, the negotiations when deals come in, and it's nice to see things come in, right? Because you're seeing what's coming in, what brand.
Okay, yeah, girl, there were so many red flags in that. What do you mean? Already, I'm just gonna let you know right now, if you are a content creator starting out, you need to be taking care of those brand deals, those emails, those communications for as long as you can, for as long as you possibly can. And I think I saw this creator in the comments section even saying, because someone basically said what I said, as long as possible, you need to be handling those communications yourself for exact reasons like this. And I believe she said, well, I work a full-time job as well as this. So I'm kind of at the point where, yeah, I do need that. I would say you need to at least micromanage your time a little better with how much you're filming and how much time that takes in the editing process, to at least slim out 30 minutes a day. Or if you're saying every day you get communications, or at least 30 minutes to an hour per week for these communications, because of reasons like this. There's really no need for an agency at a certain point. That's definitely a down the pipeline kind of thing. Like, you can be an influencer and manage yourself for a very long time, or even the entire time. There's very big influencers that they have a team behind them, yes, but they still handle a lot of their direct communications via email. And then maybe they're funneling that off to their talent manager, to XYZ, or a lot of people that have a talent manager are at that point of working with an influencer agency. There's such a big creator at that point where it is kind of above them. A lot of things are above them. Their schedule is constantly booked and busy. They're no longer working a full-time job and doing this as well. That's another thing, because if you're also still working that full-time job, I would say that you're not fully a content creator just yet. Some people do still hold a part-time, full-time job and do influencing, but I don't think they're also not the ones that are trying to join an agency and secure all these brand deals in, because they have that security of the 9 to 5. So that could also be a little bit of confusion in terms of what your actual goals are right now in the space. And so maybe that's something that, like, again, she needs to sit down with herself and figure out, okay, I'm getting to the point where I can no longer manage these emails. What can I do to leverage my time, leverage my efforts? And I don't know if joining an agency is the route, especially when the agency is acting like this. Them putting their own email in the bio and you having no access to that communication has now closed you off from understanding with so much, especially if you're not that big of a creator, to this not be a problem, this not be a risk, because let's say your content makes you enough income to at least support you tenfold. That's why some creators don't really care about who's running their email communications, or not even don't care, but it's not as big of a stress if they don't see those communications happening. But I don't know, I'm a little biased towards that. I would never advise any of my influencers to completely hand over their communications where they don't even have access to the email or to where these conversations are happening. Oh, girl, heck, fuck no. No. Absolutely not.
Brands are like liking what you're posting. You're seeing your potential. And so from seeing absolutely everything to nothing, it's kind of gut-wrenching and anxiety causing. And now I see why people do shared inboxes.
And that was a lesson learned. And there's not even that that's sketchy or whatever. That's not true. So they're clearly lying to you about the communication efforts and what's coming in. And why would they do that? Maybe they're taking that free PR. You never know the intentions behind these companies, because I'll make another entire video about that, but it's a deep dive that I have yet to complete in the journey. But the influencer marketing and management and agency realm can get real dark real quick. So make sure you're reading your contracts in depth. And if you do not have the thorough or the withspan or the understanding to know what's in these contracts, you need to at least outsource that. So like, let's not even go to an agency, but at the very minimum, any contract you're signing in this field specifically needs to be read by a professional, or at least by you in full understanding of what it is. You don't understand a sentence, copy that sentence in, go over to ChatGPT, tell me what this means in legal jargon to a normal person, right? Or whatever you need to do. But we need to make sure we are thoroughly understanding what we're signing up for, because that can go left so quick. So quick. Don't play. Don't play.
The second week goes by, I still don't hear a peep from her. Now I'm actually not feeling okay. So I told my boyfriend, I'm like, I'm feeling a little bit weird. I don't like what I'm feeling. It's been 2 weeks. She hasn't reached out about a single email. I just feel like something's wrong. My boyfriend's like, why don't you talk to her? Like, I get what you're saying. I totally get it. At the end of the day, communication is key. So tell her how you feel. Maybe she can calm you down and kind of explain things. I reach out to her. I send her a text and I'm like, hey, I was wondering if we could set up a phone call to have a conversation. She replies and she's like, hey, just want to see what it is that you want to talk about, because I told you we haven't gotten any inbounds. And I was like, okay, kind of a red flag. Like, if I want to talk to you, I want to talk to you. You know what I mean? I responded and I'm like, hey, yeah, no worries at all. I just have a few concerns that I really want to talk about with you. It's not pressing though. We can talk about it next week. It doesn't have to be today. And she responds and she's like, do you mind texting it to me instead of scheduling a call? That's when I was like, okay, no, this isn't right? It's not feeling right, so I can't be right. So I call my dad. My dad is kind of a businessman, so he always gives me really good advice. I tell him what's going on. My dad's immediate response is, if they're acting like this in the trial phase when they're supposed to be winning you over, imagine when you're actually signed to it and like they owe you money, or they owe you money from a contract.
The dad clocked T, a true businessman. He clocked the T. So many red flags where I don't even want you handling my communications, handling my income, handling my rates, negotiating for me. I don't want any part to do with you. So I'll leave the rest there. If you want to watch the rest of her video, again, I'll have it linked below. Girl, no, pack it up. Pack it up. No, it's going to be a no for me. Absolutely not. Now let's kind of get into a little bit more of this culture and cycle of influencer space. And I want to talk about I saw this video, basically like why influencers fail. And I thought it was a really good video by this company. I think this person does brand management. So this is definitely a really good company if you're looking for someone to maybe do that with. Again, just check them out. But I just love the point that she was making here in this video. So
Here's the problem with 99% of people wanting to be influencers. Having true influence is rare. Let's talk about Nora Smith. Signs you have real influence. People are copying what she does. People keep saying from scratch, I made this from scratch, talking in a soft voice, literally watching her every move. They become obsessed. You don't have true influence until people become obsessed.
100%. And that's why influencing can also be very dangerous. Very dangerous, number one. And two, again, not as likely as you think. That's why this becoming a buzzword of like everyone being an influencer in a sense it's not true. It's not true. And we need to all dial back and really get back to our key words and our definitions. Because I want to really quick just unpack public relations. I want to unpack public relations and the goal of public relations. Public relations is how you relate to the public in any field. This can go micro to individuals all the way to corporate and big mass communications as well too, right? How is it perceived by public in the relation to XYZ, the relationships between public, you and market, you and consumer, business to business. There's so many realms to that umbrella, but that is the umbrella. And the main goal is to develop positive PR. And what is positive PR? Positive PR is a relationship with public that is so good, so strong that it's positively growing without you putting any effort into it. And you can relate that now and lay that over to influencing. A true influencer does not need to act as though they're influencing you or tell you that they're suddenly influencing you. They're simply influencing off of being, off of existing. And the influence is so strong that it's now developed positive PR. For example, Anna Paul is a TikTok creator, and she made a pasta dish recently that was a Turkish pasta dish that a lot of people said was very basic and very normal. But because she made this dish, it went viral as Anna Paul's Turkish pasta recipe. That's influence. It's so influential that other people, without being asked, being paid, being promoted in any way, are utilizing it, making content out of it, hashtagging back to the creator, Anna. That is positive PR in real time. That's me sitting down with you, telling you about a product, telling you about something that I love, and this company has no relation to that. It's not benefiting them in any way. It means benefiting them. It's not benefiting me in any way to be talking about this product. I'm simply just talking about it, and that company is benefiting positively from that PR. So I just want to unpack that really quick, because that's what true influencing is. A lot of people are content creators calling themselves influencers, and they're not influencing anyone. And that's not a shot or a dig at anyone. There needs to be clear separation to understand impact, create more value within these markets. Like, we need to have it separate for people to actually be able to come into the space, profit from it, grow from it, evolve into certain spaces. And so just kind of having this blurred line between content creator and influencer. And this conversation was kind of a hot topic a while ago, where there was arguments that if you can be a content creator and an influencer, yes, the two can definitely be acting at the same time, but there's still a difference in someone that is an influencer that is just simply influencing off of existing, truly, versus a content creator that is creating content for an audience, for a niche, for etc. That's different.
If Nara Smith took a month off from social media, people would hear about it. Everyone would be like, have you guys noticed Nara Smith hasn't been on the internet? Like, there has to almost be this sick obsession around you. So when people come to me and they're like, hey, I want to make content about X, Y, and Z, the content that you're creating is not needed. It's not going to make people obsessed. It's not going to make them wonder where you are. It's not going to make them check for you. You have to have something that is so original and so unique that you bring to the table that people are obsessed. Until you have that, you will never have true influence. You have to create obsession. Obsession equals influence.
Yeah, I would argue that's correct. And that's why influencing is a dangerous game. I love her point. That is the point, especially with influencing. That's why, if anything, I would rather be a content creator than an influencer. That's maybe a controversial opinion, because everybody and their mom will get to the internet being like, I want to be an influencer. Do you? The same person that's making content that if we're an influencer is incredibly unsafe. Why are we posting in real time? Like, there's so many things when I won't get too deep into that. But in my personal opinion, I would very much so prefer to be a content creator than be an influencer. And that's just me. I want to be a content creator that makes content, educating people about social media, a safe space, motivating women that look like me. That's more the vibe. Influencing, I don't want to influence anyone to do nothing. Because one, I don't want people to be like me. I would hate a copycat. I would not like that. Again, like, I just want to paint the picture for you guys where there's just a clear difference here. A clear difference. And I just need that to be understood. And again, influencing is building, in a sense, an obsession and really a cult. That's why, again, when cancel culture occurs to a lot of these actual influencers that have already influenced a bunch of people to be obsessed with them, it's hard to walk them off this bridge, walk them off this plank, because they're obsessed with the individual. They can't even believe that somebody that they follow would do or be not what they've influenced them to think that they are. And I want to wrap this up with a quick video on exactly that, when that does occur, and why we act surprised. Like, the audience, why are we acting surprised by this stuff?
Tilda Jerv controversy is crazy. And it's not crazy for the reasons that you guys might think, but I am genuinely wondering why white women especially tend to prop up influencers like they are genuine celebrities. Like, why are you guys surprised that a woman whose entire brand consists of her just taking photos of herself and selling you overpriced polyester clothing that are so unbelievably basic for hundreds of dollars. Why are you guys surprised that she's maybe not a good person? Like, you guys always associate good qualities to people for these very minor and basic reasons. This woman has 3 million followers for posting very basic and standard outfits that are tailored to her body. And just from this, you guys have basically propped her up to God tier status. This woman is literally a millionaire. I looked on her profile and people were waiting outside for hours just to go into a pop-up for her clothing line. Everyone that you guys like the look of or who does something that you like has to be the best person in the world. And so when it turns out that these people are not so amazing as you thought they were, you guys are so shocked. Oh my God, like, how can she be like this? I'm never going to support her brand again. Why were you supporting her brand in the first place? She is an influencer. She is not a fashion designer. She literally makes the most basic clothes ever. And you guys will buy it for hundreds of dollars without a second thought. But buy it simply because someone who has a standard body type wore it or made it and she looks good in it. That's it. Like, that is all that it takes to get some sort of brand loyalty.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm talking about. So real influence isn't even about valuable content or valuable materials. Like, there's just that pajama controversy that just happened where some influencers that had a lot of influence and a lot of followers essentially created a pajama clothing line, overpriced it ridiculously, also for a marketing audience that probably couldn't even afford those kinds of products. Still bought it though, because again, they're obsessed with the individuals just for the quality to be the same as like Victoria's Secret and even less than that quality. So it's not even about quality anymore in the influencer space. It's about obsession to an individual, an aesthetic, to a personality type, to whatever that variable may be in that moment. But let me make this full screen now because that's all the videos that I had to react to today. Currently, I think I have still a few more, but maybe I'll do a part 2 on this because I want these videos to roughly be about 40 minutes each when it comes to me speaking in this format with this layout. But overall, if you're still aspiring at this current moment to be an influencer specifically, I need you to understand that the culture has shifted drastically. And many influencers nowadays are simply individuals that people are obsessed with a certain part of them. And with that obsession comes a lot of taxing, parasocial relationship managing, obsession. Like, I need that word to really not be glamorized and romanticized. I need it to be used by definition, obsessed. Again, having a mass amount of people obsessed with you and obsessed with the idea of you and this personality that you created online. So if that's not authentically you, that can be tough. That can be challenging. My personal takeaway, if anyone's asking for my personal opinion, it would be to work on being a really good content creator first. And if that influence comes with it, it comes with it. But at least walking in authenticity within your content creation journey, at least will lead you not down a bad karmic path in terms of when the influence comes. I would rather become an influencer off of being a positive light, creating a safe space, and just that part of me than any other part of me that may lead down a negative karmic path. So that's just how I am. I love dealing with good karma. I don't want to do anything that's leading me down bad karma. So that's why I really try not to lean into and create any kind of rage bait or emotional like clickbait content like that. Because I just don't want to be known for that. And I don't want the bad karma to flow in later down the line when I am an influencer or when or if, please no, that occurs and that happens. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed kind of just a breakdown quickly of some of the realms in areas in which influencer culture is shifting. Leave in the comments down below how you think this culture is shifting. Do you follow influencers? Are you still keeping up with that? What classifies an influencer to you? I want to have those conversations in the comments down below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be back again very soon because I am really feeling motivated to film again, talk about some content and bring in some valuable conversations around social media, marketing, influencing, content creation, just everything like that. Like, I love speaking about that stuff, especially because I just have a lot of experience in the realm and I keep seeing the discourse and I'm just ready to join in on it. So yeah. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share this video, comment down below how you feel. I also have a poll on my page where you can vote on some of the topics that I have coming up soon. So if you want to have an opinion on how I post content or what I'm talking about, make sure that you're joining on the community tab and voting for which one you want. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.